This call is being recorded.
Awesome. So now that we have things working a little bit better, I'm pleased to be speaking with you, Austin. Just for context, Austin Gallant, um, you're the you're the front man of Bad Fathers, and you recently came out with your own album, your sophomore solo album called The Law of Extremely Large Numbers, and that was my take
Truly
on
large.
it. Of truly large numbers. Okay, so that was my take on it. Now let's talk about it from your perspective. What's your name? Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
That pretty much summed it up. My name is Austin Galante. I'm one of the lead singers for Bad Fathers, and this is my second solo album that I produced, and wrote and did everything on the album myself.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What? How long have you been producing music, and what made you, initially start making music? What inspired you originally to not to not only think about it, but to also like complete the act and execute, the times you have?
Well, we spent a lot of time, working on songs and stuff together. Jeff, DJ Jethro, he was more or less the main producer. He did most of it. He wrote most of the music and stuff, but we got to do some things together and, work on songs together, add different sounds and input and so forth. And so I learned a lot from him over the years watching and doing that. And then, eventually I just decided like, well, this is fun. I like doing it. So, and I like being able to just like create the whole thing myself and work on songs with vibes that I'm interested in at the time, or if I have ideas for a song and I feel like this vibe would fit or would be something that would go along with it, then I can just do that. And I don't know, it's really freeing, to be able to just make music on your own and not have to agree with someone else or, get four minds together in sync on something, which,
Right.
I also enjoy doing. I think it's a lot of fun to work with other people on all
It has
different
its value
types of
for
things.
sure.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, though.
Also,
Having autonomy is nice as well.
yeah, it's really nice to just be able, when other people may not be interested in it, or just for my own self-fulfillment, I suppose, to
For
be
sure,
able
to be able to create something and listen to it and have that final product, there's something freeing about that for sure. So cool. So what type of music are you inspired by? What type of music are you creating? Is it the same? Do you have kind of
you mean, is it the same as like what Bad Fathers sounds like, or?
right? So are you inspired by a certain type of music and that's prevalent throughout, what you create? Or maybe you're inspired by, say, some classical, ballads, but then it's all hip hop and trap,
Yeah. So the first album that I did, Cat of Nine Tails, was just sort of an exercise. I had a really bad breakup and felt very badly about it, and I just kind of wanted to capture those feelings at that moment in time, and so that whole thing was more inspired by some down tempo trip hop kind of feeling or whatever, and so that's where I was with that, and I really wanted to, like, I'm here, let's just kind of sort of document it and see what happens. But this album is definitely more upbeat. It still has some down tempo trip hop type songs on it. But there's definitely, I was kind of, for some of it, trying to go for a little bit more of like a rocky little, I don't know if you'd say like Roadhouse blues or something, kind of mixed with hip hop, Yeah, so I don't know. It's a little different, but it's not
Unique,
like
cool.
the strangest thing you've ever heard. I mean, you can still kind of go like,
Right.
all right, yeah, I get it, but it's definitely more political. It's definitely I guess Jethro made a comment. He had said that it sounded something like if you were to cross Michael Moore with Richard Dawkins and kill a Mike. So I
Nice.
suppose
That's interesting, though. That's
kind of
a good endorsement. Fair enough.
an accurate description, I suppose.
Right. No, that's amazing. That's awesome. What are your goals for this album? What do you plan to do with it? What do you want to see happen?
Well, I've got it distributed digitally all around the world. It is in the process of being, put up on all the sites,
Major
iTunes,
streaming
CD
services
Baby,
and stuff.
Pandora, Spotify, all that stuff. Yeah. So,
Right.
doing that, and I'm currently speaking with publicists about, getting some press for it and so forth. And I imagine I'm just gonna, put it out on the web and try to get some press and see if anybody likes it. I shot 4 videos for 4 different songs on the album, which
Nice.
are on YouTube and people can go check out.
Did they check out Austin Galante or Bad Fathers? What's the link?
Austin Galante, yeah. It's just
Okay.
that's my page on YouTube or whatever. I've just got like 4 videos up there for this album. I've shot some other videos for past stuff put on that page. For now, I just limited it to songs for this album. And I did most of the shooting for the songs. For 3 of the songs, I shot everything myself. I did all the lighting, I did all the planning, I did all the set design. I just wanted to see if I could do everything and shoot a video, for a number of these by myself. So that was kind of fun. And then, another one, I worked with someone else on the video, and I'm in the process of, I'm going to be moving shortly, so I would like to shoot another video, but I don't know if I'm going to have the time because I'm just like almost in the beginning stages of packing stuff up. So
Right. Well, that's an interesting point. You did everything yourself. There are people who hire other people to do things for them. What budget would you put together as, an independent musician to really successfully promote your work, because everybody has different budget, and you don't have to say exactly what it is, but, do you consider, paying people to do things valuable, or do you consider being, more self, disciplined, in terms of your execution and getting everything done, a more valuable skill? And if you do kind of hire out some of your work sometimes, what's like the range? Like, is it something that's so crazy that you're investing everything into it, or is it something that's just moderately smart? Like, I know I have to spend money on this, and I know I have to buy a couple things. I'm not gonna be cheap about it or let it kind of ruin the experience you could have otherwise had.
I mean, it it varies, and it varies on, I guess, who you know and like what you can trade. Like, do you have a skill or a service that you can offer somebody else? Like, hey, if you come shoot video for my video, I'll come shoot video for your video, or for something you need, or I'll do photography for you because I'm also a photographer. So,
Okay, interesting.
a number of
you use a barter system for sure.
Yeah, like I try to do that as much as possible. And
Right.
also I end up hiring some people. As far as the budget goes, you can't really, I don't even know if I would know. But there are things I've paid for, and obviously I wish I had a bigger budget. And it would be great to, go spend 20 grand on publicists and whatever,
Right.
higher budget for music videos. I mean, it'd be great to spend $100,000, right? But like, let's be realistic here.
Sure,
for
sure.
some people, that is realistic. That's not realistic for me. I want to try and maximize what I can get done for as little as possible, because I am a
Mhm.
very small independent artist, right? And uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, like on mixing and mastering and stuff like that, I definitely don't, I pay for that because I want to make sure I get. I don't really mix or master. So
Right.
Jethro did that uh, in a studio that he works at in LA, Studio City, I believe is the name of the studio. And then I know how to shoot videos. I like working with other people. I've had a lot of fun working with other people. A lot of the Bad Fathers videos that we've done.
Right.
It's been a lot of fun, and it's also like a kind of a lot more relaxing when you can just have other people running the camera and making sure the lights are
Everything
working.
done.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't have all the
everything's
pressure on
all,
yourself.
yeah. But in the same, in a different token, I suppose it was a lot of fun to try and do it all myself. And
Right.
I edited everything. So from start to finish, like I created these videos, and they're not like the they're not the
Right.
highest budget videos you've ever seen for sure. But
Sure, but
for
they're yours. It's your work. So.
yeah, and like for one of them, I thought it would be fun to just go fly to Vegas with a backpack full of video equipment and then just go shoot a video, like just go
Right.
wander the streets and find
That is
interesting
awesome.
places to shoot. And I did
Right.
have a friend meet up with me on the second day, and they shot one of the scenes, like they filmed uh
Mhm.
one scene or whatever. But the first day, basically, I landed, I got off the plane, and I started shooting video for the song, Millionaire is the name of the song. And yeah, it was fun. It was interesting, and like having random people come up to you and they're like, "What are you doing?" kind of thing.
Right.
So
Yeah, and then
yeah,
Shay telling them to look you up online and got some free promotion right there too.
yeah, yeah.
Um.
So
So, do you perform ever in? Um. Do you ever do live shows? What's that process like for you? Or right now, are you just kind of focused on the recorded music aspect?
as Bad Fathers, we used to perform a lot. We performed all the time. I think on our busiest year, we did 87 shows in one year,
Wow,
and that
that's
was a lot
cool.
of fun. I
How did you?
I liked it.
Hmm
So what?
How did you
Oh,
guys go about setting up those shows?
mostly it was self booked. We had a booking agent for a little while, and
Hmm
then also our at the time our bass player worked for Scope for University of Iowa.
hmm
So once in a while we got hooked up with shows, through the university, and um the booking agency did some shows for us, and we got on Warp Tour once. So, that was
Right.
21 days that were just like basically
Nonstop.
booked. Yeah, we didn't have to book those really. I mean, other than getting on the tour, which was a nightmare. But
Right. So how did you do that? You networked your way into it, or you just sent a lot of press release or press kits?
yeah, we sent press kits, and then we happened to kind of know somebody that
You could
was
pass along somewhere.
yeah, sort of in the same circle of artists ish. It was kind of underground hip hop type artists,
Hmm
and they were working with someone who had a stage on Warped Tour, and then we ended up getting. We sent them a package, but I think because they knew somebody, it was kind of like, okay, well, yeah, let's have them do
Right.
it. And so that's how we kind of got in there. as far
For
as
sure.
as far as playing shows now, I haven't done anything live by myself. Um,
Hmm.
I've just I've been in a different stage of life, I suppose you would say. I have had two children in the last 2.5 years, so
Fair enough.
I'm
That's definitely
doing a lot of child raising,
right.
and
That's
the
important.
little children. Yeah.
For sure.
And I've just been working on music when I get the free time.
Hmm.
uh I'm just enjoying being able to, I have my own studio and I can just go in there whenever and work on
Right.
stuff, and then eventually I'll put stuff out or whatever. And I yeah, I'm going to be moving, and so I don't know, at some point I may start playing again, uh possibly
Hmm.
when the kids get a little older, but like it's kind of hard. I'm not terribly interested in doing the bar show thing anymore. We're going and playing a show at 11 p.m. at night. I know a lot of
Right.
people do it, and it's definitely one way to make fans. And we did it for years and years and years, and I felt like it was, you know, it helped. We made
Hmm.
some fans and we made some friends and and that sort of thing. But like in the grand scheme of thing, I don't feel like it was really like, yeah, that was the ticket. And it was a lot of
Right.
work and it was very expensive to travel and just all the things, and things are increasingly getting more expensive. And so I don't know, I
Hmm.
think now when I get settled down, I may see about performing again, but it'll be probably a lot more locally and less like trying to drive all over
Right.
all over and taking every opportunity that's given, because we did the stuff where we would drive to New York or halfway across the country to go play 4 or 5 shows, and like by the time
Hmm.
you take the gas costs, and if you don't find a place to stay every night, you throw a hotel in there and food and all that, then you just
Right.
maybe make a couple $100 or whatever that you end up splitting between, well, with a
Right.
band. It just doesn't pencil out monetarily. So
Right.
um you know I don't know.
Sure.
I'm more just enjoying making music and then putting it out. And if for some reason somebody's like, hey, come,
Right.
play a show or whatever opportunities that come around, then I will address that when it happens. But for the time being,
For sure.
just yeah.
That's awesome. Any advice you give to, younger artists trying to start the career? Not necessarily younger, but someone in more early stages of the career, trying to, make something happen. What would you say someone should do, or what would you want to do differently if there was something or something to focus on
Um.
in particular?
Well, that's a good question. Everybody's circumstances are different,
Hmm.
and who can a lot of times play into what what opportunities you get. As we all know, I uh, I feel like, I don't know. It's hard to say because part of me says like, well, maybe I wouldn't have driven 1,000 miles to go play 5 shows, but then in the same token, like I had a lot of fun doing it, and I had
Right.
a lot of good experiences and met cool people along the way. Like I
Hmm.
know a lot of people all over the country that are cool people, and that was fun. But monetarily wise, I think it's probably smarter. And this isn't like news or anything. People have been
Right.
saying this for a long time. Like work in a circle around where you live. Like wherever your home base is, play most of your shows there, and then do a few cities going out around until you've got a fan base that's you know few hundred people and then maybe expand a little further and so forth. It was just kind of weird and hard to do that in Iowa when we were there and doing that, because the cities are smaller, and the style of music that I found to be more popular there was more like the rocky stuff, country stuff, heavy metal-ish stuff. And so, going and playing a town in Iowa, we would have some success, but like, I think our genre of music wasn't necessarily what you could go play at many of the bars and have all the local people in there be like, yeah, that was great. We would always we'd always come out with a few fans, but yeah. And then when moving to LA, everything there is pay to play, and that was a nightmare. Yeah. Everybody wants you to sell $1,000 worth of tickets. I mean, you can play some smaller venues and stuff and only sell a few $100s worth of tickets or whatever to be able to play, but still, like, trying to build a fan base when you're having to essentially pay to come through the door, and they're taking the booze money, and they're taking a big chunk of every one of those bands that plays that night. They're taking all that first money, and so when you're first starting out there, it's super hard. It's super duper hard. So yeah, LA was a whole different story. I don't like the way the bars treat bands there, really, and all the bands go through it, and it's really hard. I feel like if you don't have people in your band that are from LA that know people who can help with all the things that go along with it, it's really hard because there's a million things going on in LA, right? Like, you're just another shitty band playing in a bar somewhere. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, on that note, thank you, Austin. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. It's definitely share your knowledge and wisdom. And go out and look for The Law of Truly Large Numbers by Austin Galante. And I'll talk to you soon.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good one.